viewers, to the Saturday, December 16th edition of 284 News. I'm Jacka Wooding, bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Governor John Rankin recently reiterated appeals for legislators to reintroduce the Police Act to the House of Assembly as a tool for strengthening law enforcement capacity in the British Virgin Islands. He justified his advocacy by arguing that modernizing the legal framework is vital for combating modern crime.
The Police Act, the current police regulations and legislation hasn't kept pace with modern crime. Hasn't kept pace with modern techniques that criminals use. And so we need an updated Police Act in line with best standards. Best standards in this region, best standards in Europe, best standards in North America to tackle these issues.
The governor said he continues lobbying elected members to move forward with the act. His aims are twofold: satisfying public safety demands and empowering officers.
I continue to encourage that act to come back to the House of Assembly for consideration, precisely to address those concerns of the public and to give the police the powers, the modern powers they require to help to protect and keep us all safe.
In other news, former legislator, the Action Man, Mark Vanterpool, is urging the government of the Virgin Islands to begin much-needed upgrades to the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport. Speaking at a recent event, Vanterpool stressed the importance of not becoming overwhelmed by the scope of renovating the entire airport, but rather starting small with targeted improvements that would benefit current operations. Specifically, he suggested expanding the runway over the waters just off Beef Island to better accommodate American Airlines flights, which are currently facing operational constraints at the airport.
We want to let you know that we're investing in the BVI because we believe in the BVI, and we're going to work together to make it work. Right, Minister of Communication Works? I want the airport fixed, extended. I want more people to come. I tell the Premier tonight, Premier, don't be getting into this big project like I did before, other projects. Start with a little bit. Americans say they want more space to turn off. Add a piece in the back. Put on a little piece in the back, the 500 feet. Don't wait for the other one yet. By the time you get you that, you'll be ready for the other piece.
Incremental upgrades like these, the former legislator said, would provide immediate benefits to travelers while setting the stage for more ambitious long-term development plans. Also this week, the recently concluded Joint Ministerial Council meetings have resulted in promising news for the British Virgin Islands government as it pursues its goal of borrowing at least $100 million to assist with the rehabilitation of the territory's infrastructure. Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley revealed that his delegation managed to successfully discuss some of the terms of the BVI's debt limitations. One of the breakthroughs was the United Kingdom agreeing to exclude the funding needed for the expansion of the runway at the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport from the BVI's debt limitations.
One of the most promising discussions that we had with the UK as it pertains to loan was the acknowledgement that the pending expansion of the airport runway would not be considered as a part of our debt limitations. And that's significant because, of course, the last time this expansion was proposed, the estimates were upwards of 200 million, and that would have completely taken away any fiscal space that we had to borrow. So that was very significant. And the UK continues to be. They reaffirmed their supportive, their support. They understand the position that we have.
Wheatley also announced that his government will soon present a comprehensive medium-term plan that will outline his government's strategy for the upcoming years.
When we go back into the House in a few days, you'll see us lay on the table the medium-term fiscal plan, which will really detail the case as it pertains to our debt strategy over the next few years. And of course, once that is laid on the table, the United, will be sent to the UK, and once they accept what we've put forward there. Then we'll know a little bit more about, because of course they wanted to know the details, and the details would be provided in that particular plan so that they can respond to the details. But in terms of the principle of what we're seeking to achieve, they're very supportive.
Okay,
And they reiterated that while we were in London.
The finance minister said discussions will continue to be had to ensure that the BVI government can borrow a favorable loan that will benefit all parties involved.
We have to continue discussions in terms of what they can do to make sure that we can borrow on as favorable terms as possible, what they can do to help us. As you know, of course, when their guarantees and things like that truly do assist in the process. So we are continuing to have those discussions as well.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Catch all the action from the 2023 NFL games with CCT Live on various channels, including ESPN Channel 412, ESPN2 Channel 413, Telemundo Channel 315, and Fox Channel 304. When you subscribe to any CCT Fire plan, you'll automatically bundle CCT Live. For more information, visit your nearest CCT store or give us a call at 444-4444. Choose CCT Live and enhance your game day experience.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Over there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley says his government intends to press the BVI Electricity Corporation to have it introduce a project to equip the roofs of households and buildings across the territory with solar panels. He said the initiative will be part of his government's strategy of transitioning to more renewable energy products.
We're going to be pressing as well the Electricity Corporation to introduce a project where we'll put solar panels on as many roofs as possible. And we spoke about our own climate change trust fund. One thing I'll be approaching the climate change trust fund is a project to provide some funding through the Electricity Corporation to get that solar panel project moving.
The BVIEC will not be the only entity to be pressed regarding renewable energy initiatives, as the Premier indicated that the effort will be on a general scale to ensure his government is on the right side in the battle against climate change.
It's going to really this kind of refocus, re-energization. It's going to start with a pledge that the government itself is going to be making. The government will take its own green pledge, because the government itself, there's a number of practices that we do which are not green in nature. We can do a better job in terms of setting an example for the whole territory and to being more ambitious as it pertains to how we deal with the, reducing the use of plastic, reducing the use of energy, procuring in a green way, renewables, energy, as you stated. We can do better than what we're doing right now. So I'm going to press for the government to go in more of a green direction.
Premier Wheatley said discussions have already commenced on the prospect of introducing the necessary infrastructure to facilitate the increased use of renewable energy products.
Actually, that's one thing I've been discussing with the Chief Climate Change Officer there, Angela Bonnet-Penn, which is the officer we have dedicated to those issues. So I was speaking to her about the fact that we need to build the infrastructure necessary to be able to make those things a reality. Things like, ports to be able to charge electric vehicles. As you see, Honorable Kai Reimer, made a, I would say, a very useful move in the electric shuttles that we have. I think the next step to things like electric shuttles is, as you say, having more of the government fleet being either hybrids or being fully electric. But to be able to do so, we have to make sure we have charging ports available. And we also have to make sure that those charging ports being powered by alternative energy themselves.
Over on the sister islands, the Rock Café, a beloved dining and entertainment staple for the Virgin Gorda community, has returned in grand style after being acquired by the Vanterpool Group and rebranded Rock Café by PUSSERS. Our team joined the Vanterpool Group and the Virgin Gorda community for the grand opening on December 12th. Here's how it went down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0! The Rock Café!
We congratulate Mark on most of all tonight for rebranding and bringing together two great Virgin Islands experiences, the Rock Café and the PUSSERS. I know that it will do well. And I know it's going to do excellent because a number of persons would remember the PUSSERS Outpost, the best dining experience in the British Virgin Islands for years. You combine that with the best dining experience in Rock Café, what do you have? Voila! There is nothing to beat it. I just want to encourage our budding entrepreneurs to look at what Mark has accomplished. He started with nothing, and look at what he's accomplished. Congratulations to you, Mark, for your accomplishment. We are very, very proud of you as a family.
The Rock is back, baby. I waited 6 long years to say that. But I'm truly excited tonight that Rock Café is opening again here in Virgin Gorda. I just want to commend and thank Honorable Vanterpool and his family for trusting the Virgin Gorda economy, for trusting the vision, for understanding the transformation and what needs to happen to invest here in Virgin Gorda and bring your energy and bring your investment here with us. Again, we thank you and all the very best as you move forward.
Congratulations to the Vanterpool family on this major accomplishment. It's inspirational for me because, of course, I've spent a lot of time around the family and I've heard the stories of the humble beginnings. No matter your beginnings, once you have the ability to dream, once you have the ability to believe in yourself and work hard, you can be a success. One thing I can admire about the Vanterpool family and Mark Vanterpool is that everything he does, he involves his family. And that is important. We've been through hurricanes. We've been through pandemics. We're going through a situation where we have 2 world wars. But yet, Mark Vanterpool has seen it fit to have the confidence to make huge investments. He's betting on the BVI. And he's betting on himself. God's blessings, and VG, you rock.
Tonight it is a very special night for us because it's a moment that we gathered together for a reopening of a place that we held in our heart. And we all know that Mark will do a wonderful job. Cheers to a new beginning that continues with success of this very cherished place. Thank you.
To be here in Virgin Gorda, to share in a part of this wonderful community, I want to thank God for that privilege. We are taking what Dwight and Paulo have created, and we are hoping with the ideas that they've given me to make it even better. So you can look out for the Rock Cafe to be one of the best restaurants, but not only a restaurant, Rock Cafe is going to be one of the best entertainment centers in the Caribbean or in the world. We can be as good or better than anyone in the world, and that's going to be the Rock Cafe for you, the people of the Virgin Islands, and for the tourists who come here to visit us from time to time. I want to promise you that, and I want you to hold me to that promise over the next several years. So thank you, Dwight and Paulo, for handing over to me, and best wishes to you. I believe in the BVI. Thank you all for coming tonight. All of you have been here to make a part of it. All of you have told me that the Rock Cafe has been the best thing you've ever seen in Virgin Gorda in the past, and you want to see it come back in the future. Those of you who call me from New York and tell me, make sure you put back the treehouse, it's coming next year. I want to say thank you all for supporting Rock Cafe. Thank you all for supporting PUSSERS, for all of our businesses. God bless you. God bless the Virgin Islands.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick break, but stay tuned because there is more news when we return.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny Boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny Boy. Over there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
The push was to understand whatever we need in the second district, or whatever we need even in the Virgin Islands, we have the capacity, we have the resources, we have the knowledge.
We have to improve our primary health care. What we have seen over the years, anybody could tell you this, we have seen a decline in the level of primary health care. That is the clinics.
I think party politics, political agendas, after April the 24th should have been put aside.
How do you move government resources? How do you better understand the system? How do you get your piece in there first and so on to make sure that you get the most?
Folks will hear things about what we have in mind to get done for the district very soon.
The government who is responsible for all of these policies and programs, they're the ones who really have the handle for all of these things.
We saw the challenges in terms of how those funds were being misused and mismanaged, and we need to ensure that we have a transparent system in place to ensure that persons who need help are able to get help.
We are not going to be able to attract the kind of investment that I just talked about, that you and I just talked about, in terms of new money and new business, unless we clean this country up.
This fall, we're bringing you closer to the heart of democracy. Introducing Just for the Record, first 100 days. We asked elected members of the House of Assembly of the Virgin Islands to account for their actions, successes, and shortfalls at this significant milestone since their swearing in. Find out starting Thursday, November 2nd at 8 p.m. Just for the Record, first 100 days exclusively on 284 Media.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Businessman and former 4th District Representative Mark the Action Man Vanterpool has announced that he intends to purchase QUITOS Luxury Inn and Restaurant as part of his family's investment group. Vanterpool made the announcement at the grand opening of Rock Cafe by PUSSERS on Virgin Gorda.
I'm believing in investing in the BVI, and for your information, I'm going to reveal this now. I'm signing a document tomorrow. I was to sign today, but I was too busy. The Vanterpool family group is buying QUITOS. If you heard that before, it's no longer a rumor, it's true. We are buying QUITOS Hotel and Restaurant. So you'll have a restaurant in King Garden Bay. You asked me which district, we're not in yet. So we are buying QUITOS. We are signing the agreement tomorrow, and over the next several months we'll be finalizing it. If my bank finds the money. My bank, I'm putting you on the spot here. I know you're here, you're listening. So work with me, and we will work with you. So we are buying QUITOS because I love QUITOS. I love the hotel that he's developed at a very high standard, and I love the restaurant on the water. And it's going to become part of the Vanterpool group. And by the way, if you're here, we will be selling the QUITOS units. Every room will be sold and leased back. So write your check now.
The QUITOS in gazebo and event space, totaling approximately 44,000 square feet of property, went on sale less than 3 years after its grand opening in 2019. According to reports at the time, the main reason for the sale was the decision of proprietor Quito Reimer to begin his retirement. At the time of the announcement of the sale, Reimer said that his preference would be for a local buyer for the property. The hotel closed its doors on January 31st, 2021, amid what was a particularly rough tourism season due to challenges related to the COVID-19 pandemic. In other news, in a recent episode of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Grammy Award winner and producer Gordon Commissioner Williams shared what it's been like through his career, while also aiming to inspire the next generation of creatives.
I think it initially happened for me in the Bronx with the advent of hip hop. So, my first exposure to what people would call hip hop was outside. There wasn't any hip hop records at the time. It was a local movement, and, being exposed to that, being exposed to the older guys in the neighborhood playing music and rapping and break dancing, outside, it just bit me as a kid. And when I saw that, I said, hey, I want to do that.
In regard to staying grounded, Williams said he has always believed in a higher power and credited that for his longevity and ability to stay humble.
I'd have to say, it's hard to really think of one particular thing, but maybe spirituality, because always from a child, I had a strong connection with the spirit, whatever you want to call it. People use word higher power. People want to use words, creator. I don't really, as the older I get, the less I'm tied to words and names. It's more the concept. What is it? What was I doing? Like, what is the truth of it? And the truth is, I've always believed that there was a creator, and I've always had a connection. Even people would ask me, I don't say it as much as I used to when I was younger, but I used to say, well, that's who I work for. They said, well, who you work for? You work for? So I was like, nah, I got a boss. That's my boss. So anything I do in music, I think about that. So when you hear that in the music, and I used to think like that was, people can make you feel like that's a weakness, but again, the older I get, I realize that's my strength. That was my protection. That was the song. That was the thing that went into the lyrical content. That was the thing that went into the music, that energy. So then when I look at Lauryn Hill, or I look at Stephen Marley or KRS-One or any of these, Carlos Santana, and I hear certain things now after I've done it, and then I think back on my childhood and I think back on my journey, I realize that is the thing that was guiding me. So why I'm going to change at this point, even though I like hip hop, and as Lauren said, she had in one record, she said, I put an MF in it so you ignorant ones will hear me. So every once in a while, there might be a curse in there. There might be, that's how I grew up. So I'm not going to alienate somebody to say authentic. It is, but I'm also not going to be disrespectful or lewd or rude just for the sake of doing that. Why do that?
Williams also addressed the struggles between the elders in the community and the up and coming generation. He said that in his opinion, the responsibility is with the elders to bridge the gap.
We had a level of respect amongst us before somebody else that now is not there. And I understand why it's not there. I'm not mad at young people for being the way they are, because I think the elders dropped the ball.
Okay.
I was speaking to a group of people maybe day before yesterday. So funny because I've spoken to so many people since I've been here. And I was saying that I think that the responsibility is harder, that gap that exists between the youth. And you always say, oh, I don't understand the children. I don't understand the music. You know, what are they talking about? What is the And we were talking about that. And I said, well, yeah, you know, I feel like in a strange way, I'm sort of in the middle of that conversation because I have a connection to the youth because of hip hop and my growth in that and working with artists. But then I know who the elders are because I was old enough to see them or hear of them or speak of them. So because I'm in the middle, I sort of feel like I got to help put these two hands back together, right? But in putting the two hands back together, I think the responsibility is more on the elder. It's going to be harder on the elders because the elders have to come down to the kids because you have to recognize part of why they're like this is because of us. Them. So if that's the case and we're the elder, it's your responsibility. So you can't just say you're angry at them. You have to say, I'm angry at, like my mom did for me. Yeah, I don't like how he's doing, but you got to support them. And then they could say, all right, that's a real person who cares about me. Let me see what they're talking about. Yeah. But if you just start off like they don't know and the kids don't know, and then they're going to say, whatever, you know what's going to happen? You're going to die because you're old. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to believe it, but that's what's going to happen. You're going to die and it's going to be their world anyway. So what do you want? Do you want to die and leave them? Or do you want to have a chance to leave some of you with them?
And a lasting legacy.
Yeah. So I think it's on the elders to come to terms with that and get off of that platform that you have that happens when you get older, and that space when you get older. Like nobody can teach me nothing. I know everything. I mean, no, you don't know everything.
For the full interview, visit all 284 media platforms. And viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Jacka Wooding, and I will see you again next week. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Happy holidays. Goodbye.